Hey there, guys, and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts. Number 360 1.0 is here, and I'm joined, as always, by Bombug.
Hello, hello. How are you doing today, X?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm tired, but I'm super hyped with 1.0 being out and playing it, and it's pretty dang awesome.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for.
It is. It's it's been a long time coming. Sounds like you're having quite a bit of fun with it as well.
Yep. You know, Factorio is kind of a special case for me because I don't usually buy early access games ever. I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty against that. And for Factorio to be so good for me to buy an early access game, play it all this time, and be excited for it to come out in its 1.0 release is pretty awesome. So yeah, started a new world, went ahead and bumped it up to 10 times science cost to give it a little bit more challenge, and it has been a challenge with fighters kind of kicking my butt. So
Yeah, you're gonna be struggling, be there for a little while. That 10 times research cost is pretty massive.
yeah,
How
I
many
just
times?
thought
Yeah, 10 times.
last time around I wasn't giving myself the proper challenge to really force myself to become better at Factorio.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I'll be a little bit more efficient and better with my layouts and stuff rather than just doing whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, this should be a lot of fun. So, and I hope everyone watching is having a lot of fun playing. And if you're new, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the game. But let's get in to the Friday facts here, and this one is quite interesting. We'll get into it later on, but this may be the last Friday facts for quite some time. Uh,
Ooh.
yeah, it's not bad. Like it's not like something bad has happened. It's just some choices that the devs have made, which I think is very reasonable choices. So we'll get in to it. Written by Kovarex V and the entire Factorio team. So yeah, the atmosphere in the last week was kind of special. We experienced the feeling of the final release being on the horizon many times, and we were shown that it isn't the case time and time again. Um, so it feels very special when it is actually becoming reality. We were trying to be uh, especially careful with any last minute changes to make sure that we don't introduce major bugs into our precious 1.0 release. The image of all players having the game crash on some simple stupid bug is horrifying, which there's games, I have a few in mind that have had things like that happen, and it really does kind of just completely kill the mood and almost kill the game in some instances. So
Absolutely. You know
really,
the Harvest release for Path of Exile, about 70% of the player base dropped off within the first 2 weeks.
Uh,
Ooh.
yeah, that's that's not great. Another one in mind is the release of Wolfen,
Oh.
same
Ooh.
genre, and but that
Ouch.
one was so buggy and so crashy and so just poorly done that it was so hyped up, and now there's like hardly anyone playing because it just went so poorly. So
Mhm.
I'm really glad that the devs here managed to avoid that. It seemed like the release went incredibly smoothly. I watched the from release, like the release trailer when they released it, and I was on for quite a while afterwards, and it seemed like there was really nothing major that happened. We'll see as we go down here. There are still bugs, but I don't think anything major. Like I haven't experienced any bugs so far in 1.0, and I've played for quite a few hours.
Yeah, it's been real smooth for me. Definitely haven't noticed any issues at all.
Yeah, so super great. Uh, they move on into some thank yous here. People thanked us on many occasions for the hard work we do. It helped lift our mood in many of the desperate moments when bugs and problems were piling up and we didn't see the end of the tunnel. We don't say it often enough, but the support from your side has been incredibly helpful throughout the years. So, just reading a few of these, maybe they want to thank everyone who helped save the game before it even started by supporting the Indiegogo back in 2013. Uh,
Indiegogo, wow.
yeah, Indiegogo. Oof, long time ago. That was before I even started playing. Uh, we're grateful for the 18,855 bug reports. They were
Oh my god.
invaluable feedback that reached this level of stability they're at now. Uh, all the feedback on the Friday facts and game releases. the work and creativity that went into creating the 5,603 mods, which, like, that doesn't seem. I mean, like, when you compare it to the bug reports, that doesn't seem like a lot. But when you consider that each mod changes something about the game, that's actually huge. That is
Yeah,
like so many mods and so much possible variety you can add to your game.
they've got mods that just add hundreds of hours of content if you're grinding for it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of games have that.
Yeah, the modding community is fantastic. The amount of mods and the things you can do with mods are great. So, uh, all the online videos, articles, and streams are immensely helpful to spread the word, which is really good to hear. We thanked those who helped with the crowd and translations. That obviously helped a ton, translating for different languages. Uh, you know, People who spontaneously helped with the wiki and like calculators and cheat sheets and stuff like that. Uh, and, like blueprint databases and putting together events like Clustorio, Factorio MMO, etc. We appreciate that our community is very civilized, which is very true, and generally nice to each other. They're generally very welcoming to new players and answering questions, which is fantastic. And lastly, they would like to thank pretty much everyone who bought the game and allowed all this to happen. So, well deserved. It's really cool they recognize, all the help people gave them, but also I think, we definitely owe them a thank you. I mean, there's a reason that Factorio is the second highest rated game of all time on Steam. It is an absolutely fantastic game, an absolutely fantastic dev team, and they deserve every bit of success they have gotten and will continue to get from this.
Absolutely, and hopefully a whole lot more. I'm excited. You know, we're gonna have a Factorio 2. We're gonna have a Factorio prequel, right? Like there's gonna be just endless spin-offs, I'm sure.
Oh, I
Even if
mean,
it's in mods, right?
yeah, even if it's in mods, that would be nice. That'd be really cool. Definitely a few things I would like added, but for now, the game stands very strong. Speaking of the 1.0, so we moved down. It took them 8.5 years. Uh, it's been an incredible ride, and we have arrived at the destination. Factorio is leaving early access. It opens the game up to all the players who just don't play early access games, like yourself. I mean, you bought this one, but a lot of
It's
people
a
just won't.
rare, it's a rare event for sure.
Yeah, so, and the same with reviewers who only cover finished games, which is very understandable. For this special occasion, we created a launch trailer. It tries to capture the story of development in 45 seconds. So we're going to watch this together, this entire trailer here. And then there's the game trailer, which we're going to watch maybe just the first 20-30 seconds of, because this trailer, the game trailer itself has been out for quite a few years. It's just updated with the current graphics and stuff, but what's shown in it, like gameplay wise, doesn't really change. So let's go ahead and start this launch trailer here in 3, 2, 1.
It all started 8 years ago with an idea for a game about automation. A game where you build a factory, defend it, optimize it, and scale it to insane sizes. A game full of machines, transport belts, robotic arms, trains, flying robots, and so much more. The idea became a prototype. The prototype turned into an early access game. And now, at long last, Factorio is ready to launch.
So there we go. Really cool trailer, I'd say. Or launch trailer. It's really neat. There's a teaser there right at the end. I don't know how many of you noticed that, but
It was right there. It was good, man.
it
That got
was.
me so excited when I saw it.
I know, right? It was so cool. If you haven't played 1.0, guys, there's oh man, you're missing out. They did it. They finally did it, and we'll see go further into what that is a little lower down here. But really cool trailer. Straight to the point, short, and just kind of showed just a very quick pace through the history of the game there, and how they finally reached the point they're at. So let's just watch just like maybe a little bit of this main trailer. Like I said, it's been out for a very long time. A lot of you have probably seen this already. It is updated to current graphic and stuff like that, though, so... So yeah, there we go. Really, really cool. I mean, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a fantastic trailer. Very well done. It's a favorite
The
of a lot of
music
people's.
alone, man. Oh,
Oh my God,
really,
yes.
really tells a good story there.
Yes, I love the music they use in this, and it's just kind of panning through the factory and stuff. It's really, really quite cool. So there's that. Moving on down, when we released pretty much all the content in 0.18, there was nothing left for 1.0 other than the formality of it is complete. The craft site, nuke, alien decoratives, and polluted water are awesome, but not too impactful. As a result, we really wanted to add something to make the release special. Any guesses? Well, I'm sure you do, because so many people were anticipating this. This has actually been, I would consider this a meme in the Factorio community for a very long time, since it was initially mentioned and teased years ago at this point. But let's see. It's a vehicle that can be driven or remotely controlled. It can traverse obstacles in small bodies of water. It is built in radar and can place blueprints in its vicinity. It has an equipment grid, so it can be built with construction robots and use combat equipment. It has 4 rapid-firing rocket launchers that can shoot automatically. It can be researched very late in the game, all science packs except space. And multiple of them can be deployed at the same time, but each requires its own linked controller. This all means it can be used as a tank upgrade, a less automated version of artillery, or a build or repair. We look forward to seeing what other uses you can invent. So, for those of you who haven't guessed or haven't played 1.0, they finally added Spidertron.
Yay!
Woohoo! Oh my God, so much celebration. It's
This is the epitome of don't let your memes be dreams.
I know, right?
It's happening here. Guys, even if it takes you 8.5 years, you too can turn your memes into dreams. Oh, sorry. You turn them into reality, not into dreams.
Yeah. That they were dreams, they're now reality. So Spidertron, absolutely amazing. It's so cool. I did my 1.0 overview video. If you haven't seen that, check it out, because the first part of it I go over excuse me, Spidertron, and it is so cool. What I really love about it, besides the fact that it's just there and looks fantastic and acts fantastic, the fact they added the ability to remotely control it is so ingenious and cool, in my opinion. I actually, when I was thinking, and you and I were talking, we were like, well, let's hope they add Spidertron. It never once crossed my mind as a possibility of it being remotely controlled.
And they said you can have multiple of them. Did you experiment with that?
I did. You can. I didn't test up to how many. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can have hundreds, but I think I had up to 3 going at once. I know you can have more than 3. I just did 3. So, and they each just have their own controller that's assigned to each one. So you would have to control each separately, but you can, send 3 out at the same time to go do different things in different places, and it's really, really cool.
Wow.
This
is to go even further beyond.
Yes, even further beyond. It's really cool. They will automatically fire on stuff. Obviously, you can get in it and drive it as well and then fire, or you can have it automatically fire while you're in it. And also, in addition to it being remotely controlled, another ingenious thing, as I mentioned, is it actually has an equipment grid and an inventory, a fairly large inventory, so it can act as basically a portable blueprint builder. And this combines so perfectly well with the ability to place blueprints from the map that they added, because you can now place blueprints from the map, which I also went over in my video, and that's great and all, but if you place it way out far away, you're gonna have to go walk out there yourself until Spidertron. Now you can literally just tell Spidertron to go to that location in the map, and it will go there and build the blueprint if it has materials. And that is just like
Wow.
so nice.
The future is now.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the research level. You said it's like end game, I
It's
think.
pretty expensive. It's if I recall correctly, it's 2,500 of every single science pack except space.
Oof.
Uh, and the cost of the Spidertron itself is, uh, I mean, for a vehicle, it's really expensive. You know, it's not like a rocket cost, but it's up there. I think it's like 150 low density structures, some radars, like I think some modules, some like rocket launchers. I don't remember exactly, but it was pretty costly. Like even just the 150 low density structures is fairly expensive for a vehicle.
It's kind of got the feeling of building a new super suit for yourself.
Yes, very much
Those are
so.
real expensive.
But you know, I mean, it's fantastic. It has like 3,000 health. It can completely walk over cliffs, walk over your entire factory. It can step over some water, like some distances of water. There was actually a fantastic thing on Reddit, which I'll probably cover in my Reddit Weekly, where someone did a really good test with like platforms in the middle of like an ocean, each one becoming farther and farther apart to kind of show like how far it can step over stuff, and it's a decent amount. Which you know, if there's like little lakes, like little ponds or streams or something, you can just walk right over those.
Yeah, because that's a big annoyance when you're driving around your tank or your car and there's like a tiny little one tile square of water and you're just like dead stopped and you're like, oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, exactly. Like what happened? uh, yeah, it's so cool. It's gonna be a lot of fun, I think, for everybody. And there's already mods that are doing stuff with it. I can't wait to see what there is, what comes even farther down the line. So super excited about that. Uh, to kind of continue on here, it wasn't added earlier as we saw it as just a gimmick without much contribution to the gameplay mechanics. This changed rather recently when we had the idea of the remote control combined with the equipment grid, so we decided to extend our already crazy to-do list and add it as a last-minute bonus, which, I mean, that was such a good decision. Like, so many people were hoping and anticipating that. I think it would have been quite a large letdown for a very big part of the community if they didn't add this.
Yeah, they need to have something special for 1.0, and this is a massive crowd pleaser. Like they certainly could have done other, potential updates that people could have liked, but this is like a guaranteed crowd pleaser.
Yes, like I don't think there's anybody who's complaining about this. So this is absolutely fantastic. Definitely recommend playing with it. As soon as you get there. If you just want to go in and unlock all tech and play with just a Spidertron to get feel for it, you can do that too. But really cool. So the plan for 1.1. They're doing their best. We were doing the best we could to fix all the relevant bugs and issues for 1.0 release, but we just couldn't do everything, so we had to prioritize just the more critical stuff. We would still like to address all of the remaining issues, as there are currently 150 bugs, which I didn't realize there were that many, on the forums, and around 80 internal tasks to be solved. The plan is to eventually go through all of them and decide how to resolve each one. A good example is that we have a continue button, but it just ignores multiplayer. You press continue automatically just to find out that you are building alone for half an hour. It is my co-Rex's personal story, actually. Yeah, so, and then this, of course, means that 1.1 is going to just focus on filling the most obvious gaps in our existing feature set, not on adding some new major content, which, obviously, getting all the bugs worked out is really important. Like I said, you wouldn't be able to tell there's 150 bugs, bug reports, and 80 internal tasks to be done because I have had zero issues whatsoever playing.
I mean, I can't even remember the last time I had a normal crash from Factorio or encountered anything weird in general. Like everything just feels so smooth to me.
Yeah, like,
Though I get a lot of people do more edge casey bases than I do.
yeah, I mean, if you're doing really edge case stuff, or if you're doing a lot of stuff with mods, I've had crashes with mods, but that's, to be expected. But yeah, without mods, I cannot remember the last time I had any issue with the game at all. So Just really great work with them. I'm very confident they'll get the bugs sorted out in a pretty quick fashion in 1.1. However, what's going to happen until that point is full circle. When we started with the Friday Facts, it was at a time when we worked a lot, but if there wasn't any release for a while, people were starting to ask whether the game is still being worked on. So this was our first motivation. Eventually, we learned many additional advantages of the blog other than it being just a dead man switch. It established a communication channel between us and the community. It started to be an internal every week milestone to get something into a presentable form. It in some cases even motivated us to add a cool last minute feature to make the topic feel more complete. This is how the undo and copy paste feature was created, for example. And it became a great achievement evolution of the game throughout the years, opening old posts like reading our own diary, which is very cool. And I mean, the Friday Facts are super cool, and honestly, I don't know of any other game that has released weekly updates on what they're doing in such detail for every week without missing it for 360 weeks.
Yeah,
like
actually crazy.
A lot of games don't exist for 360 weeks, but the fact that the devs have done this every single week, to my knowledge, without missing a week, with such detail on what they're doing is just like unheard of in my experience, at least.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just like delivering patch notes or something. These Friday Facts are like handwritten stories about their development and thought process, about players and their innovations and their mods. They've got the spotlights here on the Friday Fact a lot of the time, right? This is community outreach and history of the game and patch notes and everything rolled into one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just excellent.
Yes, exactly. It's fantastic. Which makes us a little bit of sad news that it became an every Friday habit for us and some of our players too, but we believe now is the right time to stop. So there will hardly be a better moment to do so. It should be very understandable that we need a break, and we also need the freedom to think about the long term without the obligation to cut it into small chunks for Friday Facts. Since you can't expect weekly posts from now on, we wanted a way for you to be notified once we have something special to say, so feel free to give us your email address so we can let you know, just like a newsletter probably, or just for major updates and events. Completely understandable, but very, very sad. I at least I'm sad. When I read this, my heart sunk a bit because I so enjoy reading and making content of these Friday Facts, and they're just so great that it's going to be very weird to not, have something to check on and read consistently every single Friday.
Yeah, it's after 360 weeks, it's a habit that you almost can't break. Like there's going to be something missing there.
I know, right? And I haven't been around for the 360 weeks, but I was looking at my playlist today, and I think I've been doing this for, I want to say 100 and, between 150 and 190 weeks. Like, the playlist is massive, and like you said, it's so much of a habit. It's really gonna feel like something's missing, or I'm forgetting to do something every week. But I did see a suggestion on the Reddit, which seemed to take off, and the mods of the subreddit said they would be in support of it, is a community weekly Friday Facts, which obviously it's not coming from the devs, but the general idea was that people would, put together, interesting things that happened in the community or that are going, like events or mods and stuff like that, and kind of make a community weekly blog, which I think is a really cool idea. And maybe I'll move on to covering that instead. But I think something to fill that gap would be really cool.
Absolutely. So if anybody has a mod they're working on, a little bit of their own piece of Factorio history, I'm sure they can do a write-up for themselves, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think it would be really neat. I definitely want to look more into that, see what the deal is with it. But there we go, guys. So, oh dear, that is the somehow I went the wrong direction. That is the Friday Facts, and it's a little bit unfortunate to see the Friday Facts end, but 1.0 is out. It's fantastic. I recommend you go play it and have a bunch of fun with it. And yeah, do you have any last thoughts before we call this last Friday Facts for quite a long time here?
Man, it's about to end here for a little bit at least.
Yeah.
Well, I think the 1.1 plan for them to just work on bugs is an excellent idea. Gives them time to chill out, not have to worry about producing new content, but just supporting the players as they enjoy a completed, fully released game that's really been completed for years already. But they went above and beyond and made an excellent game. Um, I think right now we're recording this on Saturday. We are at the peak of Factorio players right now after this release of 28,000 on Steam.
Oh my goodness!
And
Wow.
you were talking about it earlier, and you were thinking that the player count is going to be going up for a little bit, right?
That's my thought because like, unlike a lot of games where they release all these trailers and contact, like game reporter and you know, like rating people and stuff like that beforehand to like hype up the game. Factorio hasn't really done that at all. All their advertising and marketing has taken place at the 1.0 release. So, they did the thing a few Friday Facts ago for people to give suggestions for YouTubers to review the game. And as of yesterday, I had seen like no new reviews of it, and I highly doubt that everyone decided not to review it. So I would suspect over the coming days, coming weeks, even coming months, people are going to be new people are going to be reviewing it. Bigger YouTubers maybe going to be reviewing it. Game reviewing websites are going to be going over it. So since they're doing this all on release, my expectation is that for a while, a bunch of new players are going to be coming in like now after release opposed to on the release day.
Yep, it makes sense, and we're definitely seeing a spike from yesterday compared to today. Like today, yesterday hit a spike of like 20,000-ish players on the release day, but now we're at like 28,000. So I could definitely see it going up, especially this weekend. People are watching videos and seeing streamers play it, and
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And I was looking at Twitch today, um, for Factorio, and there's a lot of people streaming it. Some fairly big people that were not on at all yesterday. Like Giant Waffle is on. He was on yesterday. Neil Outs, of course, they were going. But then there were like three other people with 400 or 500 viewers each that I had never heard of and never seen, and they were not on yesterday. So in general, the amount of people streaming the game as well today is much higher than yesterday. And like you said, I suspect it will maybe increase even more the coming days and then maybe next weekend and stuff like that. So it'll be really interesting to see where things go from here.
absolutely. One of the things I'm looking forward to is taking a look at some of the community servers that pop up once people start getting into it, and seeing if I could do some more multiplayer. I've been doing solo for so long, which I love, but multiplayer is kind of like a whole extra beast to tackle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it'll be pretty cool seeing all these new players coming in or established players that have taken a break since maybe a couple big versions ago. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. Hopefully, you can find some good servers, and I hope everyone enjoys. And again, if you're new to the game, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy the content if you're new here as well. But until next video, and not usually I would say until next time, but that there won't really be a next Friday Facts for a very long time. Until next video, we will see you later.
Catch you later.